It's a positive start for the Indian market. The Nifty conquers that 25,300 mark to hit a near 2-month high. Auto and ITs lead the gains, while the broader market also trades with a positive bias.
It's a stellar debut on bourses for Urban Company. The shares list at a 60% premium at around 162 rupees a share. That compares with the issue price of around 103 rupees.
Shares of Dreamfolks hit a lower circuit, down 5% as the company exits the domestic airport lounge business with immediate effect, a business which is accounting for more than 90% of its revenue.
Sources tell CNBC-TV18 that the Income Tax Department is conducting surveys at Marico's facilities across the country. The stock slips about 1%.
Shares of Mahindra Lifespaces rise in trade as the company is set to redevelop 2 housing societies in Chembur, Mumbai with a development potential of 1,700 crore rupees.
Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. We're coming to you live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Nigel. With me is Maglam. And as we speak, Maglam, it's a good start. It appears the street is celebrating our Prime Minister's birthday. We're up close to around 80 points and a good follow-through session, actually. That's heartening. A
good follow-through session, Nigel. We've been talking about how there would be short covering first slowly and then suddenly. Yesterday, a sudden spurt was something that we saw. Let's see whether that sustains today or not. All eyes on all the global triggers. We'll watch out for the US FOMC meet outcome where a rate cut is imminent. But, commentary around what happens from the Fed standpoint and the, entire Donald Trump versus US Fed chair sort of fight that happens. What's the clarity on that one is something that the street will be seeking. But that's about the US. India, US, could there be a thaw in trade or not is something we'll be watching out for. But there has been risk on over the last few trading sessions. We've seen the railway stocks do well. At the same time, we've seen some traction on the defense stocks as well. And today, we have all the PSU banks which are off lows. As we look at it, as a ticker team alerting us as well. SBI has moved higher. PNB has moved higher. Union Bank too has moved to the high point of trade. So there is a fair amount of risk on in the broader markets. But there's one stock which is lower after having seen a big correction already, and that's Dreamfolks, 5% lower circuit after exiting its domestic lounge business with immediate effect. Vinny joins in with all the details. Vinny.
Yes, absolutely. We're seeing Dreamfolks that's under pressure even today. The company has discontinued its services of domestic airport lounge services with effect from September 16. The major impact will come and material impact will come in on the business and financials of the company. The company is saying the contracts with these clients still remain active and they are in discussions for alternative customer value propositions with these clients. So that is something to watch out for. But do not forget that, the stock is down more than 70% in the last 1 year. And since July 2025, 1st July 2025, when that cancellation of certain programs by Axis and ICICI Bank came in, we've seen the stock fall more than 40% as well. So a sharp fall that has come in since then as well. And FIIs, they have sold since September 2024, the first time some issues were highlighted, to June 2025, a sharp fall in FIIs have come in terms of holdings over there. So that also is a consideration that we should keep in mind. But let's talk about the segment breakup, right? In terms of revenue, 93% of the revenue is coming from these lounge services. 7% is non-lounge services. And in that, 77% business is from domestic, 23% is from international. So obviously, 77% of the business, domestic business, that's going to be seeing an impact. International business is going to be as it is, where they have airport international lounges of 850 plus lounges. Domestic was around 76 lounges that they had. So 76 lounges, that's where the impact is coming in. Railway side of the business, 14 railway lounges that they have, and revenue growth has been 65%. So that will continue as it is, but that's still a very small part of the business with the companies focusing on growing railway as well as non-lounge service business as well. So keep an eye out on Dreamfolks today under pressure.
Thanks a lot for that, Vinny. Well, let's focus on BEL. That's Bharat Electronics is buzzing in trade after strong order inflows. Ria's with us to tell us what does this mean for the company. Hi, Ria.
Hi Nigel, good morning. So Bharat Electronics has received orders around rupees 712 crores since their last disclosure on the 1st of September. Now these orders include IT infra and cyber security solutions, ESM systems, blockchain solution platforms as well as communication equipment. And even apart from this, the company has disclosed order inflows worth around rupees 3,398 crores in Q2 so far. And for the full year FY26 up until now, the total order inflow now stands at around rupees 11,458 crores, which is 42% of the guidance for FY26, which is 27,000 crores, ex of the 30,000 crore QRSAM order. So big moves for BEL, up around 2.5% at the moment.
All right, thanks a lot, Ria, for that. So BEL up and about in today's trading session. Defense stocks have generally been doing well. Let's get in Chandan Taparia of Motilal Oswal Financial Services for a quick technical check on the market. Chandan, from the lows, we've seen a near 800-point rally. Do you think this has just started, or do you think it's going to consolidate after this up move that we've seen? What are your thoughts?
Good morning, Manglam. Thanks for having me. So really the market rallied well by more than 800 points. It formed the bottom just 12-13 days back at 24,400, 24,442, and now it started to form higher top, higher bottom on the daily scale. In fact, this is going to be third consecutive weeks where supports are gradually shifting higher. I believe the data setup are quite positive. If I look at the 4 data internal, put call ratio improved to 1.29. India VIX is at 10.25. FI's long short ratio, which was at 8 to 9%, has recovered to 12.5%. And important part is the call unwinding started to happen with put writing, and FIs were turning for the buying side. So all the data indicates positive stance in the market. And the good part is that earlier the index took hurdle at 25,150 and corrected to lower levels. But this time, after the consolidation of last 2 days, it managed to reclaim with higher base. So I believe now the previous hurdle of 25,150 could act as an immediate support, while 25,550 could act as a major support to drive this rally. So totally, I believe this momentum should continue, and we are expecting Nifty to extend to us 25,500 to 25,750 levels. Talking about Bank Nifty index, we also seen recovery in the banking index as well. PSU stocks are doing well. Bank Nifty has surpassed its falling supply trend line, holding well above its 50-day exponential moving average. So till it holds above 55,000, it can head to us 55,555 and then fresh rally towards 56,000 marks.
All right, 55,555 on the Nifty. Bank closer to 56,000 and 25,500 to 25,600 on the Nifty as well are your targets right now. As we speak, a lot of these, PSU banks like we're speaking about have been surging. SBI continues to make the high of the day. Is that on your stock list right now? What are the other stocks that you're backing, Chandan?
Yeah, so positive on the entire CPSE index. So in CPSE, we can count PSU banks, defense, selective power and energy, or selective railway counter. And now if I talk about the Nifty PSU or PSE, we have seen a decent recovery, and this index has been making high tops, high bottom from last 5 days. So obviously the SBI on radar, we are expecting fresh leg of rally in the counter. The stock has recently bottomed out with support of 800, now giving a breakout above 840, 845. We are expecting a fresh leg of rally, and probably this time it can head towards its new lifetime high, which is near 912 kind of level. But on immediate point of view, suggesting to buy with support of 825. And State Bank of India can head towards 870 level. Apart from that, as mentioned positively on the defense name, BL is one of the strongest counter after the bottom out approach in the last week. In last 2 days also, we witnessed a positive price setup. So momentum is intact. Counter is bottomed out with bullish divergence. In fact, the longs are being built with short covering. Rollovers are likely to be on positive side. So recommending to buy on BL with support of 400, and this defense counter can head towards 430 levels.
Okay, all right, Chandan. Always good to see you in. Thanks a lot for joining in on the show. Well, let's move on to an exclusive conversation. We spoke to Jefferies Global Head of Strategy, Chris Wood, on the Indian market and the US tariffs on India. Let's listen in to a slice on that conversation.
So in the big picture, this is just a year of healthy consolidation in the Indian stock market, and what remains, in my view, the best structural growth story in global equities. And the big positive for the Indian stock market is the huge continuing mutual fund inflows have absorbed this supply. Now, if those domestic mutual fund flows did not exist, the Indian market may be down about 20–30%, and then that would have triggered big foreign buying. But because the domestic flows have been absorbing the supply, we've had this sideways trading pattern. But in the big picture, it's a healthy consolidation. My view is also very simple, that this Indian government is not going to be ordered around by the US about not buying Russian oil, most particularly when it's pretty clear to everyone that this oil is refined in India and then bought by the Europeans. It's quite conceivable that it wouldn't be a surprise if we traded sideways for the rest of the year. I am assuming a pickup in nominal GDP growth. If I'm wrong on that, then I'm too bullish. Nominal GDP growth is key because corporate earnings are reported in nominal terms, not real terms. Historically, India has been growing in a 10 to 12% nominal GDP range. This year, nominal growth has been, I believe, below 9%, and that reflects the relatively lackluster earnings outlook.
All right, that's the point, right? Nominal growth in India is expected to pick up. You can't have the nominal growth. We're celebrating inflation being low, but you can't have, nominal growth in just high single digits. So that's going to be important. Chris was talking about it picking up in the next year itself. Mangalam, but the big listing, urban company, not just to use, but shareholders also are happy. In the past, you've seen some of these companies. It's best to be a client, not to be a shareholder. But over here, both are happy, at least going by the listing gains.
What's interesting is, Nigel, not only are the clients happy and the shareholders happy, but the employees as well. If you look at just the, listing scenario or the demand for the IPO, they asked for 1,900 crores on the market, of which for the company, it was just around 470 crores. The rest was an offer for sale from existing investors. And the demand was over 100 times, 104 times total subscription, of which QIBs understandably led that with over 140 times subscription. You had the HNIs as well, over 70 times. The retail investors were almost 36, 37 times as well. The employee portion of that, typically what happens is high subscription IPOs, the employee portion is at best 1, 2, 3 times subscribed. This time, the employee portion itself was subscribed by around 37, 38 times. So that spoke about, the excitement among the employees for the company. But having said all of this, what we need to know is that this is the day one of the IPO. And this is the day one of listing. So all those guys who had applied for the IPO who did not get those shares will probably be buying a lot more because of the fear of missing out. And at the same time, we will watch out for how, the share settles going forward. In fact, the best person to talk about the company would be the management who is currently addressing the press.
Began 11 years back with the vision to transform how consumers avail services at home and empower 1 million professionals to lead dignified, respectful lives. And we are more steadfast today in that vision than ever before. I take this opportunity to thank our customers for opening their doors and their homes to us. We will work hard to be worthy of your trust. I want to thank our thousands of service partners who have served our customers with dignity and professionalism. I want to thank all our investors, our other stakeholders, employees. They have all been critical support pillars for Urban Company over the years. We see this as the start of a new journey, the start of an institutional building journey, and we will be hard at work to make sure that we build Urban Company into a truly impactful organization and institution which India can be proud of.
And congratulations, अच्छी खासा हमें listing हमें देखने को मिला. I'm Rachel from CNBC आवाज. And directly coming to the company's financial, हमने देखा है कि 1,900 crores का mobilization हुआ है, जिसमें से 472 करोड़ जो है वो कंपनी में infuse होने वाला है via fresh issuance. But यहाँ पे capital issuance को लेकर थोड़े से concerns हैं कि यहाँ पे capital जो है वो prudently deploy नहीं हो रहा है. 2021 में भी हमने देखा था कि 1,300 करोड़ का एक जो ऑर्डर है रेज हुआ था, बट स्टिल वो बैंक अकाउंट में लाइन है.
हमारा जो 1900 करोड़ का आईपीओ है उसमें से तकरीबन 472 करोड़ फ्रेश इशू है. ये टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट की तरफ जाएगा, जिसमें कि हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में काफ़ी इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. हमारे सर्विस के सारे टच पॉइंट्स पे क्वालिटी कंट्रोल बेटर करने के लिए, हमारे सर्विस प्रोफेशनल्स की मदद करने के लिए, ताकि वो कस्टमर्स को ज़्यादा अच्छी तरह सर्विसेज दे सकें. तो टेक्नोलॉजी एक बहुत ही क्रिटिकल पिलर है, तो उस एक बड़ा हिस्सा उसकी तरफ जाएगा. हमारे जो ऑफिस लीजेस हैं, ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स हैं, ट्रेनिंग हमारी कंपनी का बैकबोन है. हमारे सभी प्रोफेशनल्स ट्रेन होते हैं अर्बन कंपनी ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स में. ये ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स हम खुद रन करते हैं, इन्हें आउटसोर्स नहीं करते. हमारी एक बहुत ही बड़ी इन हाउस ट्रेनिंग टीम है, तो एक हिस्सा उसमें जाएगा. आज भी हम एक यंग कंपनी हैं और धीरे धीरे हिंदुस्तान भर में फैल रहे हैं. बहुत से कस्टमर्स हम चाहते हैं हमसे आगे आने वाले समय में जुड़ें, तो मार्केटिंग एंड ब्रांड बिल्डिंग में भी एक हिस्सा जाएगा और फिर बाकी का जनरल कॉर्पोरेट पर्पसेस में। और मैं शेयर होल्डर्स को ये आश्वासन देना चाहूँगा कि आप एक स्ट्रॉन्ग बैलेंस शीट कंपनी के साथ जुड़ रहे हैं। इस IPO के बाद हमारे बैलेंस शीट में 2000 करोड़ से अधिक है, डेट फ्री कंपनी है, तो हमारे पास एक स्ट्रॉन्ग बैलेंस शीट है आगे आने वाले सालों की ग्रोथ में इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए। Hi.
Hi. So, congratulations on the listing, stellar building there. I would like to check up again on the financials. There has been gradual growth over the past few years that we got to see in the RHP. But what I wanted to check was, you've also said that there has been growth in the number of people you're onboarding from your end, and clearly you said training and incorporation of AI are big things. But what I wanted to check on was how many clients do you, how many users come to you with who are recurring in nature, and what's the, let's say, monthly active user base that you guys have?
Yes. So you're right. We have seen consistent growth in the last few financial years. FY21, our net revenue from operations was about 248 crores. That rose to 437.6 crores in FY22. Then about 636 odd crores, 828, and eventually 1144.5 in FY25. So from 248 crores about 4 years back, it rose to 1144.5 crores in FY25. We had about close to 6.8 million, 68 lakh annual transacting users in FY25. These are users who did at least one transaction. We also disclosed in our DRHP and RHP that nearly 82% of the business in FY25, 82% of the net transaction value came from repeat users who were acquired prior to FY25. And that number in the first quarter of FY26 rose to above 85%. So it's a repeat business, it's a business of trust. We have to be hard at work to train and upskill our service professionals, to give them the right tools, the right technology, the right SOPs, the right processes to really delight our consumers, so that those consumers can keep coming back to the Urban Company platform and keep transacting with us.
So when we say recurring user...
All right, that was interesting commentary coming in from the management of Urban Company, thanking all the partners, all the employees, all the stakeholders for showing value, but importantly, being humble enough to say that they owe a lot of responsibility to the newer bunch of shareholders that they have right now for the company as well. 165 and counting for Urban Company. Remember, the company was offered at close to around 103 odd rupees, on which also a lot of these investors made multiple X on this exit. So what we'll do is take a short break, come back, focus on a lot of other stocks which are buzzing around as well. The news, the big story has been the market doing well, a stellar listing that has taken place for Urban Company, and all the PSUs which are a buzz.
Welcome back. Well, Financial Services Secretary M. Nagaraju has said that India needs bigger banks. Speaking at CNBC-TV18 Banking Transformation Summit, Mr. Nagaraju also confirmed that 4 PSU banks will sell stake this year to meet SEBI's 25% public float norms. Let's listen in.
Now this is a time for India banking industry to take a leap of faith on the next phase of both reforms and lending. We want to become bigger. The Indian banks want to be bigger. And I think all of us know, in the top 10, we have only 2 Indian banks in the country, SBI and HDFC. I think we need much more.
All right, with that, we'll take a short break. On the other side, market-specific action right up for you.
भारत ने दुनिया को युद्ध नहीं, बुद्ध दिए हैं। ज्ञान में, अध्यात्म में, गरिमा में, अन्नदान में, संगीत में, शाश्वत कविताओं में हमारा देश भारत पूरे विश्व में सबसे महान है।
With our Prime Minister Narendra Modi turning 75 today, wishes poured in from all across the world. US President Donald Trump also dialed the Prime Minister Modi for birthday wishes. Now, in a post on X, Modi thanked Trump and referred to the trade deal talks that resumed just hours earlier. Like you, I am also fully committed to taking the India-US comprehensive and global partnership to new heights. He added, we support your initiatives towards a peaceful resolution of the Ukraine conflict. President Trump later made a similar post on Truth Social. Just had a wonderful phone call with my friend, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I wished him a very happy birthday. He is doing a tremendous job. Narendra, thank you for your support on ending the war between Russia and Ukraine.
All right, and wishes also poured in from major global voices, top businessmen as well as famed actors. Let's take a look at that.
आज आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के 75वें जन्म दिवस पर मैं उनको अपनी हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। और आपका जो सफर रहा है, जर्नी रही है, जो आपकी कहानी है, एक छोटे से शहर से लेकर ग्लोबल स्टेज तक, वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंस्पायरिंग है। इस कहानी में आपका डिसिप्लिन, आपकी मेहनत और अपने देश के प्रति डेडिकेशन दिखाई पड़ता है। सच तो ये है सर कि 75 साल की उम्र में जो आपकी पेस है, एनर्जी है, वो हम जैसे जवान लोगों को भी पीछे छोड़ देती है। सो मैं दुआ करता हूं कि आप हमेशा स्वस्थ रहें, तंदुरुस्त रहें, मजबूत रहें और खुशहाल रहें।
Prime Minister Modi, my best wishes to you on your 75th birthday. I wish you good health and continued strength as you lead India's fantastic progress and contribute to global development. The Gates Foundation values our partnership with the Government of India immensely. Together, we are supporting progress towards Viksit Bharat and sharing lessons and innovations for the countries in the global south. Once again, my warmest wishes to you on this milestone occasion.
As CM, I remember we had some issue with some of the authorities in Gujarat who were unnecessarily actually harassing us. We were in in our pharmaceutical business, and I remember just calling him on the phone, and he was so responsive to it, and he sorted it out. So when you talk about ease of doing business, this is just one example of the ease of doing business. In this case, he just understood what the issue was, and he realized that what we were saying was, that we were not being treated well. So he says, okay, let me find out, and he actually acted upon it.
Well, on that celebratory note, we'll thank you for tuning in to Chartbusters. Stay tuned. Trading Hour comes up next.